all Cancers, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your horoscope for this Cancer season, your season. Happy solar return to all of you. So this is basically going to be just the cardinal signs with two bonus videos for Leo and Virgo. So cardinal signs are Cancer, Libra, Aries, and Capricorn. You guys are the initiators, you're the starters, you guys, get things rolling. And so, with that being said, let's get things rolling right now. First, we'll start with the Kemetic Astrology, which is basically a mixture it's a mixture of the ancient Kemetic astrology with the combination of the Western tropical zodiac and how it's done there, just so we all understand what's going on. So, with that being said, we have the Sun in Cancer for the whole season, of course. There will be a full moon in Capricorn on June 27th, and then a new moon in your sign in Cancer on July 12th. Mercury is in Cancer currently, and it will be transitioning into Leo on June the 29th. Mars is in Aquarius, and on June 26th, it goes retrograde. Venus is in Leo, and it will move into Virgo on July the 9th. And for all the rest of the signs, they are staying put, all the rest of the planets, they are staying put in their given signs. Jupiter in Scorpio is retrograde. Saturn in Capricorn is also retrograde. Uranus is in Taurus. Neptune is in Pisces, which is retrograde. And Pluto is in Capricorn, also retrograde. So we have a lot of retrogrades happening for this season, which is great. It means that we really need to focus in on the inner planets that are not retrograde, as well as to see what the retrogrades are telling us to take our time and to really focus in on, as opposed to rushing ahead. For you, Cancer, this season you're feeling very focused, you're very direct and determined. This is a unique Cancer season for you, since deep emotions won't be at play necessarily, but there will be a significant slowdown, and people will be taking more directly. You will be thinking more directly, clearly, and logically. Titles won't be as important. So anyhow, I had a vision of turtles for you, Cancer, and to think of how the turtle won the race, but I also was thinking about the environment of the turtles and how they're really fast in the water, and on land they're greatly protected because of their shell. The turtle can think methodically and secure the win in any environment if they so choose. Does not mean they don't have, predators out there trying to get them. They just know that if they do right and they move fast and they're in the right environment, they know how to work it out. Water signs, for this season are definitely going to have way more vivid and colorful and even prophetic dreams, especially with Mercury being in Leo, with Venus, and then Mars being in Aquarius, and then Neptune being in Pisces. You can expect extremely deep and enlightening dreams that are sure to light your path and give you the guidance that you've been seeking, Cancer. So make sure to get some rest, okay? Eat lightly before bed, no heavy meals. Drink lots of water throughout the day, and make sure to take a bath or a special shower before the bedtime. Wear white, or even go naked when you go to sleep, and make sure to light some incense or something that will get your senses flowing into the right direction. Keep a notepad by your bed before you go to sleep so that you can write down a question of yours or any thoughts that are heavy on your mind before you go to sleep. This is basically directing your mind and the angels that are your guides. It's directing them to the dark places that need light so that you will receive your answers during your sleep. So make sure to write down your dreams immediately upon waking. seriously, immediately upon waking. You'll notice that if you wait a little while, in between the time that you wake up, let's say you go brush your teeth and do all that, and then you write down your dream is likely to change. Um, because that's just how our minds work. We'll change things up with the quickness. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get to your tarot for this season, Cancer. So, for a lot of you, things are starting to move fast, to move along really fast. And you have a lot to stay on top of. You have a lot of responsibilities that you have to take care of, and at least delegate tasks to quite a few people, to quite a few different, um, you know, people or organizations that you have to, get organized or whatever the case may be. You have a lot of things going on. You have a lot of things on your plate. And a lot of you may be working closely with a partner to achieve something quicker because you can do this on your own. You can do this on your own, but it would take way too long, to simply do it on your own. You need the help, and you do. Um, and a lot of you may be trying to motivate someone to put more effort into their work, because in the long run, it will benefit them just as much as it will benefit you. You are sharing resources and responsibilities with, quite a few people, but one person in particular, a lot during this season. And a lot of you may be starting a new business or beginning a new position, at your workplace, or even received a promotion of some sort. Um, if it's not a new position, it's a higher pay raise or something along those lines, or maybe just receiving um, gifts that you weren't expecting for your birthday season, larger gifts, unexpected gifts that you really needed. It's like being thrown a bone, a good loan. Um, So yeah, back to the turtle metaphor that I was speaking of before, of how I seen this season for you being like a turtle, and in that race against the hare, it was persistent. It never stopped. It kept moving on and on and on and forward and forward and forward, never taking a break, never resting. A very consistent movement forward, a very persistent movement forward, never stopping, while the hare stopped. No matter what the reason that it stopped, it stopped. And in that time, the turtle was able to gain so much more ground than the hare. And that's how the turtle won the race. And you're really going to have to take that approach of one by one, movement by movement, slow progression, moving towards winning the race and being triumphant, and being persistent, and making sure that every move that you make is very planned, because you are halfway there. I see a lot of halfway movement, like you're almost there. And you just have to continue to not only be persistent, but be patient, because you know what is in the future for you. You already know what's in the future for you. So it's a matter of being patient in the moment until you can arrive at what you were, waiting on to manifest. You know, um, yeah, it's a balance, definitely a balance of um, knowing your power, knowing your strength, knowing what you're capable of, but not getting too anxious, like really antsy about it. Um, because this will throw you off. And you want to make sure that what you are looking towards to manifest will truly come out and come through, and not anything but power, strength, and might, instead of weak, unstable, and fearful. Remember that you got to stay organized so that you can build something on a solid foundation. Remember, you're creating something, whatever it is that you're creating, that you're building. You have to make sure that it's solid through and through, and it's on that solid foundation, in order for the rest of the project to succeed, whatever that may be in your life, you know. Um, so continue to use your intuition and be patient as you receive guidance from within. Go with the flow of this impending change taking place. Do not allow your emotions to override what you intuitively know is going to happen. I see that a lot of you are feeling like you're doing this by yourself, like you don't really have that help or support. And really, in reality, you're failing to recognize the help in which you do have, the help that surrounds you. It's there, and you're not seeing it. And this season will truly give you that clarity that you need in order to be able to recognize this around you and to cease to worry about what someone else is doing instead of concentrating on what is right before you. You know, what's right in front of you? What are your tasks? What are your responsibilities? Handle what is yours and trust that, you know, everyone else is doing what they're supposed to be doing, that everything will work out. Trust that your partner is also working diligently to do their part in this project, in this relationship, in this business, adventure, whatever it is. It's truly trusting, okay, that it will work out, and I know that that feels difficult at the moment because there may be some money and household expenses that may be becoming overwhelming to you. And this is initial. This is the first, first wave that feels like, whoa, that was a lot. But then after a while, you realize, okay, it's not as bad. I know how to work this. And, you may feel like you don't know where, you will get the funds to accomplish a certain task, or even for some of you to pay some bills. But, you know, just remember that it is going to work out. You may be acquiring um, something that is not something that you planned on acquiring, really, or you were planning on acquiring and you just didn't know how much it would cost. You didn't know how costly it would be. So, it's a major move, and a lot of you are trying to rebuild in some type of way. So, you just remember that you have a lot. You have plenty. You are plentiful. You are blessed and reassured, and you have all that you need at your disposal. Continue to speak these positive affirmations to yourself and into your life, because you do have it. You do have everything it takes in order to accomplish this major task at hand. You financially will receive a great, increase. It's coming, especially because it's your season. So, there'll be a lot of, especially with Cancer being in Leo, which is, Cancer, excuse me, Venus. I don't know why I said Cancer. You're going to be receiving a lot, Cancer. You're going to be receiving a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of comfort, and a lot of financial stability during your season because of the generosity that's going to be poured upon you. You just cannot get caught up in your initial feelings about it. Or at any point in this, you can't get caught up in a downward spiral or depression or feeling anxious or anxiety filled or stressed or any of that. You must always remember the positive flip side of it, the other polarity that you can go to, which is the brighter side of it. You know, because when you go down to the deep, sometimes it gets too dark. And we must remember that there is a brighter side. And then the brighter side is that you have enough and that you will always receive everything that you need because you're that magical. Um, so don't, don't go to that extreme too much in your emotions during this time, and don't feel too overwhelmed. There will be some emotional upbringing and some highlighting of things that have happened in your past or in your recent past in which you have not fully dealt with. Some of you, not all of you. And whatever it is that those deep emotional hurts, pains, or past issues will come up. Okay, they will come up. They will, you know, it's like a dead carcass, beaching, whale beaching, or shark beaching. A lot of those have been happening lately. Living out here on the Pacific coast, you know, it's natural. It happens. It's what happens. We throw stuff into the ocean, and the ocean throws stuff back at us. So the only thing you can do is deal with it. Um, and just remember that. Don't be drained by it. Don't be frightened by it. Don't be disgusted by it. Don't be anything but understanding and knowing. And so that you just go and take action and you deal with it, or it will find a way to deal with it itself. And sometimes you don't want that to happen. Sometimes you want to be able to be in control of those situations, even if it seems like you're not in control. You're always in control. Um, and this is important to know because you're gonna have to bring out that inner happiness, that inner exuberance, that inner charm, that inner beauty, and true loving essence that you have. It's going to be very important. And, you know, it's okay to relax. It's okay to relax a little and free yourself from that stress and anxiety in order to enjoy life. This life is exciting. If you look at it, life is always exciting, and you can find happiness in all things. And it creates like a reboost in your spirit when you start to look towards the happier side of life. You'll see a reboost in your spirit, and it'll give you just an extra boost of energy and vitality. And especially with the Sun of Wands right here, that card, this particular card, always reminds me um, of Leo. And there may be very well maybe a fire sign that's a Aries, Sag, or a Leo, or specifically just a Leo or a Gemini even, that will kind of do the extra, do the most in order to bring you happiness and put a smile on your face for this season. um, Especially with that Venus being in Leo. For the majority of the beginning of the season, there's this extra boost, and that may be just for a lot of you if it's not a person who holds that sun sign or moon sign, but if it may be just that energy of the Venus in Leo giving you the vitality and the strength and the energy to look on the brighter side of life and to be able to laugh at life in all its capacities. Um, and bring that warmth and comfort that only you can bring. Cancer, we all can bring it, but you have a special way of bringing it that is unique to you, Cancer. So, when you're not moody. Yeah, and you may be around a lot of children, or even just a Gemini in particular, of whom will bring you comfort and plenty of laughs. So either way it goes, enjoy your season. You're ready to break out and be reborn, and there are aspects of you that have been just dormant and are waiting to be acknowledged and put to use. And whatever you have always wanted to do, whatever you have longed to do, whatever your inner knowing was always pointing you towards, now is the time to do it, to be it. You are turning over a new leaf, and it's a green leaf. You don't have to fear it being a brown crusty leaf that will break in your hand as soon as you give it a gentle crush. It's not a fig, it's not gonna do that. It's green, it's healthy, it wants to be held by you and to be used by you in the moment. But as all things, it won't last forever. There will be a time in which it will wither away. But if you know what you're doing, if you know how to preserve leaves well, you can save it for quite a long time. Okay, so whatever you want to do, now's the opportune time to do it, to achieve it, to put out that risk, and to take that risk, and to actually gain something from it, and know that you're going to gain something from it, Cancer. For a lot of you, for all of you, there is something to be gained this season for yourself, and how you go about it will determine, uh, basically how it will turn out for you, you know, um, how fruitful you will be in all aspects, emotionally, romantically, um, physically, if you're doing this for health reasons, benefit, business wise, whatever your mountain that you're trying to climb, you can be triumphant in it. And for this final pal that I'm looking at, Cancer, um, there's a lot of moon action. Definitely a lot of moon action, a lot of inward self reflecting, and saying, like, you got to look at what you've been doing and how you've been reacting and what the actions you've taken. And you have to reflect upon that, so that you're not only looking at everyone else and what they've been doing, but you're also looking at yourself and how you've been acting, Cancer, because you have power to affect people in certain ways that no other, sign can affect people. That motherly energy, that matriarch energy is very strong, and it affects people. It deeply affects people, and you have to really be conscious of your power. That your mood can shift a room, and you can be evil with it and shift it for a malicious reason, or you can be loving with it and say, I will overpower anything that is not of love with my love, um, and know how to balance it out when needed. That's a good mother, a lioness, type of spirit. I can be loving and caring and gentle and all those things to my cubs, but I also know that I need to toughen my cubs up, because one day they will have to be able to fight for themselves. Um, so, uh, definitely with this Seven of Wands and with this Eschew um, card, like, traditionally the card of the Fool, but I like to think of it as the trickster, and other things as the messenger. Um, you know, your challenge, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings, have been, a lot of you have been with being inconsistent and sort of messy and gossipy. Either you have been gossipy about, you know, or messy in your words with other people, or other people have been that way with about you, or around you. And these are simply distractions from your true responsibilities. You're receiving many messages that require you to see through the murk and the BS. People are throwing your way. They're really trying to kind of like knock you off your block. And people may have been, quite a few have probably, with or without your knowing, but I'm pretty sure you already intuitively know, because there's a lot of moon action here. So I'm pretty sure you already know that they've been talking about your back, and you're fully aware of what's been going on. And now it's time to overcome all of that, and to face your fears, to face your naysayers, and to start viewing certain circumstances as fun competition. You know what I'm saying? Competition can be fun if you so choose to make it. You don't have to be arrogant about it. You don't have to be boastful about it. But with this Venus and Leo, hell, Cancer, this is your chance to do just that. And with that Leo, that Mercury moving from your sign into Leo on June the 29th, it gives you that extra boost to see this as fun competition. On the other hand, for a lot of you, there is something that you need to talk or communicate with a partner about, or a friend about, or a associate, or whoever it is. There's something that you need to communicate and to speak upon and to bring to light, because it's blocking your growth. And it's something that you need to open up. Open up that throat chakra, because there is some imbalance. There's a blockage there. I'm seeing this man in his blue, and this, of course, that's done for many reasons, but seeing this man in his blue, and and there's a blockage towards pointing towards his throat. So it's definitely dealing with something that you need to release and let go of, because it's blocking your growth and it's blocking your progression forward. And towards the beginning of the season, Mercury's in Cancer, so translations are off. Mercury does not like being in Cancer, so you may say one thing and the person interprets it as something totally different, or and vice versa. You could hear somebody say something and you interpret it completely wrong, and the person is like, no, I didn't mean it like that. So make sure to take your time. Don't be too hasty to correct someone or to get mad at someone for um, you know for any reason when it comes to communication, because there just simply might be something not translating through. So always kind of stop yourself and ask yourself first, how how is my message coming across? Is it coming across clearly? And then make sure to ask questions of clarity. Say, did you mean blah 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 by X, Y, and Z? Am I hearing you clearly? Or am I clearly understanding what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what you're trying to say. It's okay to ask for clarity. And then you also have, I'm telling you, there's a lot of moon action, so much moon. And then you have the Nine of Swords. So it's definitely stressing over something, and you're just trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. You want victory, and you want to say, that you have overcome your emotional trauma, and that, you want to be a stronger person. Essentially, you no longer want people to see you as weak. Many of you want to know your purpose in this world, and you already do. It's already in you. It's hidden deep within you, and you have to allow your inner higher self to guide you to those answers, that you are seeking, um, you know, that you seek. You already have the answers within you, Cancer. So that's why in the beginning when I was meditating for you, as well as the other signs, your specific message that I received was they need to get the rest. They need to make sure that they're, healthy, that they're doing what they know they need to do to get their health on track, and they need to make sure that they're writing down these messages and not depending upon memory, but making sure that they write it down so they can go back to it and see the answers to their specific questions. That's why I said in the beginning, write down your question. Write and be clear, be detailed. Read over it and make sure it makes sense to you. Read it out loud as well as in your head, so that does it sound like it makes sense to you? Like you can answer that question. And remember that dreams are symbols. Everything is not going to be direct, like directly, this is what it is. A lot of times it's going to be symbolisms to give you a full answer to your question. So before you go to sleep, Make sure you take those measures, write down your questions and your thoughts upon a matter and ask for clarity, and you will receive clarity. You will receive clarity and guidance on how you should progress forward, and what steps you need to take, because you are a new creature and you are becoming renewed every day. We all are becoming renewed every day, but for you specifically, Cancer, you're going through a really huge, major transformation that is beautiful, and it's especially beautiful because it's coming right now for your solar return. So, happy birthday to all my Cancers out there. Happy birthday to my mom. She's a fellow Sun Cancer with the Moon Aquarius. Shout out to her. Love you. Mwah. My mother Moon. And shout out to all the rest of you Cancer, Sun, Moons, and Risings. Until the next time, keep trailblazing on. Oh, and yes, one more thing. So it's quicker just to make these, voiceovers, over the cards and all those things. It takes so long to upload videos. So I'm just gonna do it this way and keep it short, sweet, and to the point as much as possible. So if you like it this way a lot better, go ahead and thumbs up this video, let me know, and subscribe so that you can continue to get these videos on time, and then leave a message, leave a little comment down below, and let me know how this message resonates with you and how you're making it through for your Cancer season, and especially how are you celebrating for all you Cancer suns out there. How are you celebrating for this Cancer solar return? So until the next time, y'all, keep trailblazing on. Peace.